Are you a person who tends to look at the world as either or as both and? I thought that was a great gospel question until I realized that that is itself an either or question. It strikes me that many of the small things, the smaller decisions in life are either or. Should we go out to dinner tonight or eat in? Should we buy this car or that car? Will I go to this college or that college? Not that those decisions are without significance, and certainly there's some pluses and minuses, whatever way we choose. But for the most part, those either or decisions I consider the small things. I propose to you that the big things, the great mysteries of life, are always both and. On this Trinity Sunday, we remember that God is both and. That we have a God who is Father and Son and Spirit, not or. That we have a God who is Father, who created this world and all that is in it, who is the source of all that is true and good, and who is Jesus, who walked this earth in human flesh in a certain historical period in time, and who is the Holy Spirit, the very power of God around us and in us in this and every moment. Jesus himself is both and. We say Jesus was fully human and fully divine. Jesus could heal the lepers. And yet that same Jesus would later be found weeping. Jesus raised his friend Lazarus from the dead. The same Jesus who also would eat food, get sick or tired. Both and. And is it not true that our experience of God is also both and? Don't we sometimes experience God as other and far away and distant and something to be adored from a distance, and sometimes as near as our very breath, as real as the love that sits across the table from us, as concrete as the words, "I forgive you," spoken by a loved one. I am convinced that people who are truly spiritual are able to hold both and together. We don't like that very much. Either or is easier. You like to divide the world up. It gives me a sense of control and everything in its place. But that's not how the great mysteries of life are. Matter of fact, I suggest that if that's how God is, this world that God created is that way, and we who are created in God's image are that way. Think about yourself. Think about myself. How often is it that two things are true at once? For example, you are absolutely precious, and your life matters tremendously. And yet, the world is not all about you. Those are both true at the same time. Or, I'm convinced that I'm convinced that every single person in this church right now is both saint and sinner. We get ourselves into trouble if we think it's either or. If somebody sits here today thinking, me, I am a saint. Sure you are. And you are a sinner. And if anybody comes here today thinking, I am just a miserable, wretched sinner, yep. And you are a saint, holy of God, with a great and noble dignity and a beautiful calling. We are always both and. And we've got to be able to hold that together about ourselves and about each other. There's a woman who would send me emails about supporting our troops. And her emails would more and more paint our troops as almost saints, as holy people, almost perfect, fighting evil, people who were completely evil. And it got to be too much for me. So I wrote her back at one point and I said, I know that most of our troops are good people making a great sacrifice and doing a lot of good. And most of them stay true. And most of them do what's right. And most of them do it for the right reason. But not all of them. And not all the people we kill are evil. I sent this to her right as the news was coming out of some of our troops were raping and killing women and children, torturing and degrading prisoners. I suggested to her that the truth was both and. Well, she said, well, do you support our troops or not? Are you with us or against us? And then took me off her mailing list. She needed to see the world as either or. And each person as either or. Whereas the truth, I think, is more than that. For the most part, as I suggested, our troops are good folks doing the best they can, but not all. And certainly not all the people who died deserve to die. We can't even paint our enemies as all black or white because that's just too convenient. And it's not the truth. We've got to be, as spiritual people, able to hold both and as true. Yes, we have to protect ourselves. And yes, there's also got to be a way to work somehow together. Those are hard. Yep. And yet, is it not true? Is it not true that in the end, the world is both and? Take this very moment. This moment. The best moments are also imperfect. The most blessed moments are not the fullness of everything. And as St. Paul said in today's second reading, our challenges, our hardships are more than that as well. He said that those things that we struggle with, they also hold the possibility of great good. The struggles in life can be a blessing. So much of the world is both and. Now, I experienced that more than ever before when my dad died. My dad had a brain aneurysm and lost consciousness and never regained it. We were gathered around his bedside, and it was one of the most heartbreaking times of my life and one of the most beautiful. The love around his bedside, the faith around his bedside, the deep connection with God and all those who loved and let go was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. And my heart was broken. And my brother said some things that were annoying. All at the same time, huh? The beauty of and faith and love in that moment did not take away the fact that my heart was broken. But the loss and heartache did not take away the beauty and goodness that was there. Both and, said St. Paul. Both and is this world. If somebody said to me, well, Father Joe, are you an either or person or a both and person? I would say yes. In the smaller decisions of life, I know that it has to be either or sometimes. But when it comes to the great mysteries of life, the mystery of God and personhood and human living, I would say I am a both and a person. And I know that because that's the truth of my God, who is Father and Son and Spirit. Well, hello, old buddy. How are you? Not so good? What's the matter? Scared. You're scared? Why? All alone. Oh, you're all alone? Everybody's gone? Feels kind of scary to you in your house, huh? Well, Big Al, when you're scared, what helps you? My teddy bear. Your teddy bear? Oh, can I see it? Wow, Big Al. It's like me. Beautiful. It's like you. Yeah, it is beautiful, just like you. I agree. Yeah. So, Big Al, it helps you to have a teddy bear, huh? Oh. Helps you to know that you're not alone, right? Makes a sound. Excuse me. It's not me. Okay. Oh, it's him. It's him. Okay, good. All right, yeah. So, Big Al, it helps you to have your teddy bear. That reminds you that love is there. What if your teddy bear wasn't there? Oh. Put it down. And then it sometimes feels like the world is all alone. Well, Big Al, here's one of the truths about life. It's always both and. You might be the only one in your house, and you're not alone. No, Jesus would be right there. Cool. World is mixed, Big Al. I know, I'm mixed too, yeah. Every person is both and. So are you. But so is life. And the next time that you're the only one in your house, with or without your teddy bear, I hope you can remember that you might not see anyone else, but you're not alone. Cool. Bye. And boys and girls, we want you to know that too. You could maybe be the only person that you see near you, but you are never alone.